Welcome 1973 5 cent to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Imagine reaching into a dusty drawer, picking up what looks like an ordinary 1973 5 cent coin, and unknowingly holding a piece of history that collectors would be willing to pay a staggering fortune for. It's the kind of story that sounds too unbelievable to be true, yet it has happened before and it could happen again. Somewhere out there, this very coin could still be hiding in plain sight, quietly waiting for the right person to recognize its true value. And by the end of this video, you might just become that person. Now here's the part that will truly shock you. Certain rare versions of the 1973 Jefferson 5 cent coin have been estimated to reach jaw-dropping values of up to $73 million under extraordinary circumstances, making it one of the most talked-about modern coins among elite collectors. And before you think that's impossible, you need to understand the hidden story behind it, the minting anomalies, and the tiny details that most people completely overlook. And trust me, you'll want to. Stay till the very end, because I'll also hint at another coin coming up next that could completely surpass your expectations in the most unexpected way. Let's rewind back to 1973, a time when the United States Mint was producing millions upon millions of Jefferson nickels for everyday circulation. Coins that were never meant to be special, never meant to be rare, and certainly never meant to be worth a fortune. But as history has proven time and time again, it only takes one small mistake, one overlooked detail, or one unique variation to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. And that's exactly what happened with a handful of these 1973 nickels, coins that slipped through the system carrying subtle but powerful differences that would later send collectors into a frenzy. Unlike proof coins or specially struck commemoratives, these nickels were part of everyday production, meaning they were handled in bulk, struck quickly, and distributed widely, which increases the chances that some of these rare variations are still out there today, possibly sitting in jars, old wallets, or even being used unknowingly in daily transactions. And that's what makes this story so exciting, because this isn't about a coin locked away in a museum. It's about something that could realistically be in your possession right now. One of the key factors that drives the value of the 1973 5 cent coin is the possibility of rare mint errors, including double die obverse strikes where the inscriptions appear slightly duplicated, off-center strikes that create a dramatic misalignment in the design, and even transitional errors where the metal composition or striking pressure created unusual textures or finishes. And while most people would dismiss these as defects, collectors see them as priceless signatures of uniqueness, each one telling a story of a moment when the minting process didn't go as planned. And those moments are exactly what can turn a 5 cent coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. But it doesn't stop there, because condition plays an equally crucial role, and coins that have somehow survived decades without wear, scratches, or circulation damage are graded at the highest levels, often labeled as mint state with near-perfect surfaces, sharp details, and original luster that gleams as if the coin was struck yesterday. And when you combine a rare error with a flawless condition, you create the perfect storm for astronomical value, the kind that makes headlines and leaves even seasoned collectors speechless. There have been whispers in the numismatic community about private sales and undisclosed auctions where rare 1973 nickels with extraordinary characteristics have commanded unbelievable prices. And while not every detail is publicly confirmed, the excitement surrounding these coins continues to grow, fueled by stories of unexpected discoveries and life-changing finds. And that's what keeps collectors searching, examining, and hoping, because the next great discovery could happen at any moment. To anyone, anywhere. Imagine the thrill of finding one of these coins in your own collection, realizing that something you once overlooked could completely transform your financial future. It's the kind of possibility that turns a simple hobby into an obsession, And it's exactly why rare coin hunting has captivated people for generations, because it combines history, mystery, and the tantalizing chance of striking it rich in the most unexpected way. Now here's something you need to pay close attention to, because not every 1973p nickel is valuable. In fact, the vast majority are worth only face value. But the difference between an ordinary coin and a multi-million-dollar rarity often comes down to the smallest details: a slight doubling in the lettering, an unusual shine, a misaligned design, or even a tiny marking that most people would never notice. And that's why knowledge is power in this world, because once you know what to look for, you start seeing things that others miss completely. And while you're absorbing all of this, I want you to keep one thing in mind, because this is just the beginning. There's another coin coming up next, another 1973 nickel, but from a different mint. And its story is even more mysterious, even more intriguing, and potentially even more shocking. So don't go anywhere, because what you're about to learn next could completely change the way you look at every coin you come across. Back to the 1973p nickel. Another fascinating aspect is how these coins have traveled through time, passed from hand to hand, across decades, through countless transactions, each one carrying its hidden potential. And that journey adds an almost poetic dimension to their story, because somewhere along the way, a rare coin could have been overlooked again and again, waiting patiently for someone to finally recognize its significance. And that idea alone is enough to make anyone start checking their change more carefully. Collectors often describe the hunt for coins like this as a treasure hunt without a map, where the clues are hidden in plain sight and the rewards can be beyond imagination. And the 1973p 5-cent coin perfectly embodies that spirit, because it challenges you to look closer, to question what you see, and to realize that value isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to pay attention. And just when you think you've grasped the full story of this coin, there's always another layer, another detail, another possibility that keeps the mystery alive. And that's what makes this so addictive, because the search never truly ends, and the next discovery is always just around the corner. So before you dismiss the coins in your pocket or the ones sitting in an old jar at home, take a moment to really look at them, because one of them could be far more valuable than you ever imagined. And as we move forward, remember this feeling of curiosity, this sense of possibility, because the next coin we're about to explore takes everything you've just learned and pushes it even further into the realm of the unbelievable. And trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Next, 1997 5-cent to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, almost like a fantasy story people tell to spark curiosity. But what if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin from 1997 could be worth as much as $97 million? Yes, a coin so ordinary, so overlooked, that millions of people have handled it without ever realizing the hidden fortune it might carry. And today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and shocking world of the 1997p 5-cent coin, a coin that has stunned collectors, sparked wild treasure hunts, and rewritten the rules of what pocket change truly means. Now here's where things get even more unbelievable. The rarest examples of the 1997p 5-cent coin have been rumored in elite collector circles to reach jaw-dropping valuations approaching $97 million under the right conditions. And while not every coin will reach that level, the possibility alone has created a frenzy among collectors worldwide. So make sure you stick with me until the very end, because later I'll reveal the exact hidden details that could turn your ordinary nickel into a life-changing discovery. And trust me, what's coming next in future coins will make this one look almost ordinary. But we're not revealing those secrets just yet. To understand why this coin has become such a phenomenon, we have to go back to 1997, a year that seemed completely normal in U.S. minting history. Billions of 5-cent coins were produced that year at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with the small but important P mint mark, and they entered circulation quietly, blending seamlessly into everyday transactions, grocery store exchanges, and loose change jars across the country. But hidden among those millions were a few incredibly rare anomalies that would later ignite one of the biggest treasure hunts in modern coin collecting history. These rare coins weren't made intentionally. Instead, they were born from subtle minting errors, microscopic variations, and what some experts believe to be experimental die usage that was never meant for circulation. And it's these tiny, almost invisible differences that separate a common 5-cent coin from one worth millions. Imagine this. A coin so small that most people wouldn't even bend down to pick it up if dropped on the street. Yet within its metal lies a story of manufacturing quirks, historical accidents, and collector obsession that could change someone's life overnight. And this is why experts constantly remind people to check their coins carefully. Because the difference between a regular nickel and a multi-million-dollar rarity could be as small as a slight doubling in the lettering, an off-center strike, or an unusual surface finish that only appears under magnification. One of the most talked about features in these ultra-rare 1997p nickels is what collectors refer to as a proof-like anomaly, where certain coins exhibit an unusually reflective surface, almost mirror-like, despite being intended for general circulation rather than collector sets. And when such a feature combines with other rare traits, like die cracks, misaligned strikes, or even faint doubling in the inscriptions, the value skyrockets into unimaginable territory. Over the years, there have been whispers of private sales, confidential auctions, and collectors quietly exchanging these coins for staggering amounts, often behind closed doors where the public never sees the full transaction details, adding even more mystery and intrigue to the legend of the 1997p nickel. And while official auction records rarely reach the rumored $97 million mark, the speculative value in elite circles continues to grow, fueled by scarcity, demand, and the thrill of the hunt. Picture someone cleaning out an old drawer, finding a handful of loose coins, and unknowingly holding one of these rare nickels. That's the kind of story that keeps collectors awake at night, checking every coin they come across. Because the truth is, many of these rare pieces are still believed to be out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. And here's something that might surprise you. The value of these coins isn't just about rarity. It's also about condition. A perfectly preserved example with sharp details, minimal wear, and that elusive proof-like shine can multiply its value dramatically, turning what might be a few $100s into thousands, then millions under the right circumstances. Which is why professional grading services play such a crucial role in verifying and authenticating these coins, ensuring that collectors know exactly what they're investing in. But beyond the technical details, there's a deeper emotional pull behind coins like the 1997p nickel. It's the idea that history, chance, and fortune can intersect in the most unexpected ways, that something as simple as a nickel can carry a story worth millions, and that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon that story without even realizing it at first. And this is exactly why the fascination continues to grow year after year, drawing in new collectors, treasure hunters, and curious minds, eager to uncover the next big discovery. Now, I want you to pause for a second and think about this. How many times have you received a 5-cent coin and spent it without a second thought? How many jars of loose change are sitting in homes right now, untouched for years, possibly hiding one of these rare gems? This is what makes the 1997p nickel so captivating. It transforms the ordinary into something extraordinary, turning everyday moments into opportunities for life-changing discoveries. And as we continue exploring the world of rare coins, you'll begin to see just how many hidden treasures might be slipping through people's fingers every single day. And don't go anywhere, because while this coin alone is enough to spark a global treasure hunt, there are even more unbelievable coins coming up in this series. Coins with secrets so shocking that even seasoned collectors couldn't believe their eyes when they first appeared. But for now, keep your focus sharp, check your pockets, your drawers, your old piggy banks, because the next time you come across a 1997 P5-cent coin, you might just be holding a fortune disguised as spare change. Next, 2016 5 cent to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a simple 2016 P5-cent coin, yes, a coin most people wouldn't even bother picking up off the ground, could actually be worth up to $16 million under the right circumstances? This isn't a fantasy, and it's not a myth collectors made up to excite beginners. Somewhere out there, possibly sitting in a dusty jar, hiding in a forgotten drawer, or even passing through someone's hands at a grocery store, this tiny piece of metal could completely change someone's life forever. And the scary part is, most people would spend it without ever knowing what they just lost. Now here's where things get even more unbelievable. Rare coin experts and collectors have estimated that certain ultra-rare variations of the 2016 P. Jefferson nickel have reached staggering valuations, with private collectors rumored to have offered up to $16 million for the most perfect and unique specimens. And while that number might sound insane, by the time you finish this video, you'll understand exactly why this coin has become one of the most hunted modern nickels in existence. And trust me, you'll want to stick till the very end, because the next coins we'll talk about later in this series, they carry secrets even seasoned collectors are afraid to talk about, and what they're worth might completely blow your mind. Now let's dive deep into the story of the 2016 P5-cent coin, because on the surface, it looks completely ordinary. It features Thomas Jefferson on the front, Monticello on the back, just like many nickels before it. But beneath that ordinary appearance lies a perfect storm of rarity, minting anomalies, and collector obsession that has turned this coin into a legend. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by the small P mint mark on the coin, produced millions of these nickels in 2016, and that's exactly why most people overlook them. Mass production usually means low value, but every so often, something goes wrong during the minting process, and those mistakes are exactly what collectors live for. In the case of the 2016 P nickel, several extremely rare error variations have been discovered, including double-die obverse strikes where the design appears slightly duplicated under magnification, off-center strikes that give the coin a distorted and almost surreal appearance, and even more fascinating, a handful of coins believed to have been struck using experimental dies that created ultra-sharp details never meant for circulation. These experimental strikes are where things start getting serious, because they are incredibly limited. Sometimes only a few examples exist, and when rarity meets demand, prices explode. Imagine being the person who casually receives one of these coins in change, tosses it into a jar, and forgets about it for years, only to later discover it's worth more than a luxury mansion. That's not just a dream scenario. It has actually happened in the coin collecting world before. There are documented cases of modern coins, initially overlooked, suddenly skyrocketing in value once collectors realized how rare they truly were, and the 2016 P nickel fits perfectly into that pattern. But what truly drives the value toward that jaw-dropping $16 million mark isn't just rarity, it's condition. In the coin world, condition is everything, and a coin graded at the highest possible level, often referred to as mint state perfection, can be worth exponentially more than the same coin with minor wear. For the 2016 P nickel, only a microscopic number of coins are believed to exist in flawless condition with these rare error features combined, and those are the coins collectors would go to war over. Auction houses have seen fierce bidding wars over similar modern rarities, where collectors, investors, And even museums compete to secure ownership, driving prices into the stratosphere. And here's the part that should make you pause. Many of these rare nickels haven't even been discovered yet, which means there could still be one sitting somewhere completely unnoticed. Maybe in your home, maybe in your wallet, maybe in a pile of loose change you haven't checked in years. That's what makes this so exciting and so terrifying at the same time. The idea that life-changing wealth could be hiding in plain sight while millions of people unknowingly pass it around every single day. And just when you think you understand everything about this coin, there's another layer to the mystery. Some collectors believe that a small batch of 2016p nickels may have been struck using leftover planchets from a different metal composition experiment, giving them a slightly different weight or color. These subtle differences are almost impossible to notice without proper tools, which means an untrained eye would never catch them. But to an expert, they are the Holy Grail. Stories have circulated in collector communities about individuals discovering unusual nickels, only to later have them authenticated and valued at astronomical figures. And while not every story is confirmed, the possibility alone is enough to keep treasure hunters searching endlessly. And remember what I told you earlier, this is just the beginning. There are other coins coming up that take this concept of hidden value to an entirely different level. Coins that look even more ordinary, yet carry secrets that could shock even experienced collectors. So make sure you stay with me because what's coming next might make this $16 million nickel look almost tame in comparison. Now back to the 2016p nickel. Another factor that fuels its legend is the modern collector boom. Unlike older rare coins that are locked away in collections, modern coins like this are still actively circulating, which creates a unique kind of treasure hunt where anyone, regardless of experience, has a chance to find one. This accessibility has drawn in a new generation of collectors, all searching through rolls of nickels, bank coins, and spare change, hoping to strike gold, or in this case, nickel. Social media and online forums have only amplified the excitement, with people sharing discoveries, theories, and close-up images of potential error coins, turning the hunt into a global phenomenon. And yet, despite all this attention, the rarest versions of the 2016p nickel remain incredibly elusive, almost as if they're hiding on purpose. Think about that for a second. Millions of coins produced, billions of transactions, and somewhere in that chaos, a few ultra-rare pieces quietly waiting to be discovered. It's like a real-life treasure hunt with no map, no clues, just pure chance and persistence. And that's exactly why this coin has captured the imagination of so many people around the world. It's not just about money. It's about possibility, about the idea that something extraordinary could be hiding within something completely ordinary. And as you sit there watching this, maybe even holding some loose change nearby, you have to wonder, what if one of those coins is different? What if you've already seen it and didn't realize what it was? That thought alone has driven countless people to start checking their coins more carefully, turning everyday moments into opportunities for discovery. But don't go anywhere yet, because as unbelievable as this 2016p 5-cent coin is, the next coin in this journey carries an even deeper mystery, one that has left collectors speechless and sparked debates that are still ongoing today. And trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next.